Okay, so welcome to our next layout. This is the page that we just finished. So we have that turned over, strip is on the right, and then we have a new page prepared. Okay, so what I'm doing for this page, it's a giant, I guess it's a pocket, and I will be using this pocket to slide an 8.5 by 11 piece underneath. And attached to that piece will be the photos that will show through these windows. So I do have a Silhouette Studio file linked below that has this piece and this piece and these two pieces if you would like to cut those out, so that you can make this page so much easier. Okay, so this piece here, if you're doing it by hand, is 9.5 by 11.5, should be 9.5 by 11.5, okay? And let's see here. Okay, this is a future clip I'm inserting because the easiest thing to do if you do not have a Silhouette Studio, Cameo, is simply to mat this piece of paper, mat this actual page with your strip. Just take a piece of decorative paper and mat it. It'll be a full piece, 8.5 by 11, with nothing cut out of it. And then just, if you are able to cut a circle itself, just take the circle and glue it down, okay? And you could stamp it like with a photo stamp, and then whoever, when you're ready to use a layout, just cut your photo into a circle and place it down. And if you have circle dies, you could make different sizes, you can make a border. So yeah, that's probably the easiest thing to do, is just to simply adhere down a solid background and then glue down a circle, stamp it with a photo frame or a photo stamp. So yeah, that's probably the easiest if you wanted to get this look, but you don't have a die cutting machine. Okay, so I'm gonna take this piece and it needs to be scored with a 9.5 at the top. It needs to be scored at 1/2 from both ends, okay? And then it needs to be scored at 1/2 with the 11.5 inch at the top. Okay, we're gonna cut out those squares. My dog is playing with her squeaky toy. Okay, then we're gonna fold and burnish on the score lines. All right, I'm gonna see how good of a fit this is. I feel like my paper wasn't lining up in the scoreboard all that well, so I'm wondering if it's okay. All right, good. All right, so this one can, Cricket. This one can go ahead and get adhered. When you do cut this out, if you cut this out of the file below, make sure that the top stays at the top because it does matter. If you were to score, make sure when you start scoring it, from the very moment it comes off of your sticky mat, make sure the top is the top. Because this is only going to fit one way. Of course, if you get it wrong, you know, you could just flip this piece of paper, but if it's a directional paper, then that would make a difference. See, this won't, that's the fit, but it won't fit like that. Okay. So just make sure the moment this piece comes off your sticky mat that the top is the top, you indicate that. Okay. All right. So I'm going to adhere this down. Okay, I'm gonna have a waterfall right here. Okay, so I have 4 pieces of my white cardstock that measure 3 1/8 by 4 5/8. So 3 1/8 by 4 5/8, and I'm gonna put those in my scoreboard with a long end across the top. And I'm going to score at 1/2 of an inch on all of them. I also have 3 photo mats, which are exactly 3 by 4. So those will go on the bottom 3. And then I have a sentiment or a quote that's going to go on the top one that I'm printing out. So I will grab that and show you. All right. So I'm going to attach my waterfall pieces. All right, so I will be starting pretty much at the very top there. And I do want to make sure that I have it even. So I'm just going to do this upside down for a moment so it's closer to me. Looks good. Okay, so I've just put some ribbon there to keep that closed. And then I've just measured this the same width as my waterfalls, which is 3 1/8 of an inch, and it is about just a little over 4 inches tall, okay? Okay, so you can still, of course, decide what you want to do on the backs of each of these waterfalls. So I'll probably take decorative strips and put them on the little 1/2-inch flaps. Okay, and I don't know, maybe I'll leave those plain or draw some journaling lines, or undecided just yet. Okay, let's see here. So I think I was gonna place that mama and her baby there. I'm just gonna kind of set these things here for now. I'm not gonna adhere anything down. And then we can work on this page. So I will actually set this one off to the side just for now. This page is pretty interactive. So this is, that is my base, and before that can get glued down, we have these flaps that are going to go here and here. So they measure exactly, let me see, 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. And we're gonna score, since it's a perfect square, so just pick an edge and score it 1/2 inch. After these 2 flaps, we also have 2 tags, and I have a set of a bunch of tag dies that I just used to cut these out. If you were making them by hand, they measure 4 1/4 by 2 3/8. And they are tags, so they have that tagged edge. And I put those in my scoreboard with a long at the top, and scored at 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and then 5/8, and then 3/4. So 1/2, 5/8, 3/4. Yes, that's correct. Okay, so we've got both of those scored like that. Okay, so then after that last score line, you're left with about I can't quite tell, about 3 1/2 from here to here. So just mat those. I've already created my mats, okay. So let's go ahead and fold our tags on those 3 score lines. Okay, so that we kind of have this tag that has some extra space there to hold things under it. These are going to be our closure pieces, by the way. I never said that, but I'm sure you figured that out by now. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere only the 1/2 inch flap. So make sure you have a nice crease there on just those 1/2 inch flaps, because those are the only ones I want adhered down. And I'm going to glue those to the center edges of my page. Okay, and then we can go ahead and we've already scored on these flaps, so we can go ahead and fold and burnish. And one of these is going to go on the left edge near the top, and the other one is going to go on the right edge near the bottom. And they are just going to sit right inside those closure tags, okay? And I want my tags to cover up the edge. So I don't want the edge of this one going under this tag, and I don't want the edge of this one going above that tag. So about less than an inch from the bottom of your page and from the top of your page, okay? It might be easier though if we go ahead and do to these what we are planning to do to them. So I have to remember what I don't remember anymore. No. Actually, I think I was going to do these two. They were going to go on the front. Yep, okay, that's what I was doing with these two. And then when we flip them over, actually, it doesn't really matter. Direction doesn't matter at this point. Just make sure you have a flap on the left on this one and a flap on the right on this one, okay? And then you can position your paper, and mine is not directional paper, so it doesn't matter how I place it. And so it's gonna get attached to our page like that. And then when we open it, I have a photo mat. When this one gets open like that, photo mat, and okay, that's what I'm gonna do on the backs of those. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and adhere these down about so I just don't want, again, this edge popping up past this edge, so probably around there. And it just occurred to me that before we glue these down, we didn't put our hole punches, but that's not a huge deal. We can do that pretty easily. Okay, so now we are ready to actually mat this piece, and I've chosen an identical one to the other page. Okay, so I've chosen the same piece. Okay, and in the center of this page, we've got more interaction. I have, let's see here. So this is the base piece, okay? This measures exactly 6 1/8 of an inch by 8 1/2. So 6 1/8 by 8 1/2. And then you need two pieces that are just 1/2 an inch wider. So they're both still 8 1/2, but they're 6 5/8 of an inch, okay? So two pieces, 8 1/2 by 6 5/8. And then for those two that are 1/2 an inch wider, we are going to score with the shorter end at the top of our scoreboard at 1/2. And we want to go ahead and miter those edges. Fold and burnish. And then we want to adhere one to the left edge, and we want to adhere one on the right edge, okay? I do not have to trim, okay? As long as my left one shuts first and my right one is on top, I do not need to trim. There's no buckling, which is awesome. Okay, so then my very top piece for this booklet, I guess we can call it, I have chosen this. So it's just 1/8 of an inch smaller than the measurements of this piece. If you like bigger borders, you'll cut yours even smaller. feel like that wasn't quite, that's better. Okay. And I don't need to worry about any kind of a closure piece for this because it's going to be held down by everything else. Okay, and this one's going to be adhered to the page, so we will not see the back. We'll open that up. We'll open this up. And I had chosen these at first, but then I thought maybe do something like this. Actually, I think I was going to do this. So I don't know, I'm not sure. And then I was just going to do a journaling piece here. So I'm not sure how I want to do this. I got to think about it. Okay, so I think I am going, so I took those 3 pieces of paper and cut them down, and then I'm going to use the photo mats as well. So each of these photo mats will accommodate a 4x6, if I'm not mistaken. Well, they measure exactly 4x6. So 4x6, 4x6, 4x6. And then that left, of course, 4 by, these came to about 4 1/4 plus a 1/16. So just, you know, after your 4x6 photo mat is in, measure the leftover space. My piece came to, like I said, 4 by about 4 5/16. Same with this one and same with this one, okay? And then I have these 2 little guys here, and Mama Bear and Baby here. And then I am gonna put this right here for journaling. So I hate drawing lines, I'm no good at it, but let's see. Now we just have to figure out what to put here. It's a little bit hard to close now. Maybe I should have trimmed that just a tiny bit. I think I can safely take the smallest, ittiest, bittiest smidge off that edge. That's how tiny that piece was I just took off. Let's see if it helped us at all. Yeah, okay. As long as this is flat, we'll be good. Although we are going to be putting photos in here, so that makes me nervous. I wish I had trimmed it before I put everything on it. Okay. Alrighty, let's see here. So now this can just get adhered straight down. Okay, I am loving it so far. All right, so let's go ahead and get some hole punches in here. I'm gonna cut some small circles. See, these are my nested circle dies. Somebody gave them to me and they have been the best thing I've ever owned. I don't know how in the world she could give these up. I really don't. But her loss was my gain. All right, so I'm gonna cut 2 of those from my Big Shot. I'm gonna mark the dead center as best I can. And then I will go ahead and glue that on here. Okay, and then once those are on, I'm going to hole punch that center. Perfect. And then I'm going to get whatever you call those things. Okay, I've got some eyelets here. freaking out that maybe my page was upside down. Okay. I keep doing that. I'm like, uh-oh, did I do it upside down? Okay, no, I didn't. Whew. All right. My hands are so dry, it's disgusting. I hope that's not showing through in the video. Okay, let's see here. Just gonna go with a regular twine, a craft color twine, because I don't really have anything that wouldn't clash, so. All right. Okay, so that is what we have there. And now we just need to figure out where we want to place things on this page, okay? So heat up your glue gun if it's not already. All right, so for my pocket here, I just cut a piece of decorative paper to about 8 3/8 by 10 7. Yeah, about 8 3/8 by 10 7/8, just so that it's a perfect fit within here. And then if I were gonna put pictures in this right now, I would trace this, then I would pull it out, and I would know exactly where to put my round pictures. All right, so that is this layout. Okay, so we will move on to the next one.